Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to Spilling Divine Tea. My name is Melanie. I am your host, and I'm so excited to see you today. I know last time I said we were going to dance at the beginning to introduce ourselves and get a little shaker rules to release those endorphins, right? So we're about to just do that for just a few seconds. We ain't gonna do it for long, but I'm about to play a song real fast. So go ahead and get and stand up out of your seat, and I hope y'all can hear this. Let's see. All right. All right. Feel a little bit. Hello, loves. Yes. I hope you guys are having an amazing day. We're going to jump into it. I told you guys this is a no script zone. I don't have no script. I'm spilling divine tea straight from the challenge that I get from source. Whatever I feel like talking about, whatever topic I feel like talking about, I will be spilling the tea on this channel. But let me go ahead and see. I'm looking inside of my Facebook group. If you are on YouTube, you should see me. But if you are also on Facebook, you should see me inside of our Divine Tea Confidential group. And if you have a Facebook page and you're on YouTube, you can go ahead and join. I'm going to drop the link in the comments when this live is over. But I would love for you to join my Facebook group. So I need to go. I noticed that I'm not even live inside this group. So let me go live inside the Facebook group as well because I want people to see me here also. So let's see. Let's see. All right. So I hope y'all enjoyed that dance. All right. Can y'all see me inside the Facebook group? All right. Well, I don't know what's going on with that group, but again, I look at things like sometimes Source wants us to do what Source wants us to do, and that's what you got to do sometimes. All right. All right. All right, y'all. So again, welcome to Spilling Divine Tea. Normally, when I do other readings, like because again, this is the channel, this is a live channeling, and when I do readings, I usually pour like a affirmation card, things like this. So today, being that I'm divine channeling, I'm going to see what source wants to talk to us about today. And I already have my idea of what I want to talk about. When I was in the shower, I was thinking of like, what I want to talk about today. And I have an idea of what I want to talk about, but I'm also going to pull an affirmation card to set the tone. All right. So let's go ahead and set the tone for the collective today. All my relationships are harmonious. Ooh, and look how these cards look, you guys. Mm-hmm. When we create harmony in our minds and hearts, we will find it in our lives. The inner creates the outer always. Yes. All right, y'all. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's go ahead and get started here. All right. Let me check. Still have some people in here. All right. So let's go, y'all. Let's go. So today's topic, I decided that I wanted to take y'all on a journey of how I got into spirituality in the first place. Like why I'm so interested in God, source, divine source, whatever you want to call it. Why did I even do this? Why did I start this? Why am I doing this, should I say? So when I was young, I had a strong relationship with God. For some reason, I couldn't see God, but I always felt it. I always felt God. Felt like God was always working in my favor when I was young. I could test it out honestly. Like if I used to lose stuff, I used to test it out to see if I could find it. And I'd be like, God, please help me find it. If I actually lose something, I asked God to help me find it, and I always found it. So I know that's like, it is what it is. But when I was a kid, think about a kid in my elementary school, I'm like, hey, every time I lose something for some reason, God always helped me find it. It's like anything that I lost. So I never really lost anything for a long period of time. I always found it. So that was my first beginning of faith and having faith in God, just testing out against certain things to see if God's truly there. When I was younger, my mom, she was a drug addict, and uh there was a time where we moved with her to give my grandma gave her another chance to take care of us because that's what she wanted. She wanted her kids with her. And I remember the first time I moved my mom, she disappointed us. She while we were sleeping, she left us at nighttime. We woke up, we saw some stuff missing, like the TV, the microwave missing, and we actually, I was afraid. I was the oldest. With my younger sister, I was the oldest at the time, and I'm like, "What I'm gonna do?" My mom, I go downstairs looking for my mom. She's not there, so I was asking God, please help us. Don't let anything happen to us, God. And out of nowhere, the neighbor knocked on the door to want to know we were okay. Cause I think my sister was crying. She heard her crying. I was like, no, actually, my mom is not here. And we need to call our grandma, so thank God the neighbor allowed us to call our grandmother, and our grandmother came to pick us up. And that happened that actually happened twice. So the second time I was like, no, no more, no more. But to me as a kid, right? I'm like, hey, thank God for, letting the neighbor come, hear my sister cry and let the neighbor come so the neighbor can help us to reach out to our grandmother, you know, and, just comfort us because our mom left us and I was devastated. I was scared, So as a child, I was thinking, God, thank you, God, because I went to church. My grandparents had us in church, so I really had a relationship with God when I was young. So that was another thing that I was looking at, like, anything could have happened to us. Somebody could have came into the house, snatch us. One of those crazy drug people could have came in and took more stuff out of the house or whatever. Anything could have happened, and it happened twice. So each time we were safe. Each time God made it so that someone was there to help us. And my grandparents always came to rescue us. And I, as a child, I looked at that thing as something very, very like God, because I heard stories about kids dying all the time, kids getting snatched, kids going missing. And I was thinking, God, that didn't happen to me. So again, I had a relationship at a very, very young age with God, testing things out, small things. It may be, weird to you guys, but to me as a kid, I was like, God is real. I believed in God. So growing up as an adult, of course, a lot of times as adults we lose sight of God, right? Because of the hustle bustle of life, we want to, experiment things, and then we wonder why things happen later on, like we're like, dang, I wanted to live my best life, right? But at the same time, now I see why in church religious say don't do certain things, don't drink, don't have sex before marriage, don't just we see why now, right? When you go through our life as an adult, you see why those things are said not to do those things, but they never gave us an explanation as to why we shouldn't do those things. So we're looking at it like, y'all just don't want us to have a great time. You know what I'm saying? What can alcohol do to us? What is having sex before marriage? You need to test it out, don't you? But at the end of the day, again, when you go through life and you go through a lot of things, you realize why those things is said, why they're the Ten Commandments. That's not kill, steal. You think it's like, makes it, come on now, logical, like most people, that's common sense. Don't steal, cheat, do all those things, right? Commit adultery, all those things, but most people don't understand why that's so important. So me, the inquisitive person that I am, I understand like why I can't do these things. And of course, I don't want to steal, but there's people out here that just want to steal. They want to take, they want to lie, they want to cheat. It's people out here that just naturally do those things. But I feel like if people understood and really understood the reason why they shouldn't, there would be less people out here stealing, cheating, and killing and doing all types of weird shit. If people realize that whatever you do comes back to you, right? Then a lot of people wouldn't be doing the things that they're doing, right? It's a science, you all. What you put out is what you get back, right? And it's actually tenfold you get back. So if you out here lying, cheating, and stealing, guess what? It's going to happen to you. See, the problem is with most people, they believe that, well, it ain't happening to me right away, so it ain't going, because things doesn't happen right away. People don't receive their karma right away. They think that they got away with it. But karma never misses an address. Karma always spins the block, right? So that's the one thing I think that people really should understand, that because we're on this planet Earth, there are universal laws that we must follow. Okay. One of those laws is the law of cause and effect. Whatever you do, come back to you, right? Whatever you say, right? You attract. Whatever you think most of the time, you will attract into your life, right? So again, we have powerful minds. We have powerful minds. So how we treat ourselves, that's what we will attract. It starts from us, actually. So growing up on my journey throughout life, after me experimenting and doing whatever I want to do, one day I decided I wanted to get real with, my journey with God. But the real true reason why I did get started was back in 2016. It was a time where I just was feeling depressed and sad out of nowhere. I'm like, during that time, my business was booming. And during that time, things were going great in my life, and my marriage was fine. My kids were happy. I had one kid at the time, so I wasn't stressed about kids at that time. So I'm like, hey, things is fine in my life. Why out of nowhere I'm feeling anxiety and depression? Like I've been watching a movie, a funny movie, and also I'm just sad out of nowhere. I'm like, what is going on? I never experienced that before. So I did my research and I realized that because of the way I was eating, because I love to eat, our gut health is connected to our mind. So because of the things that I read, because remember I told you at the time, like we was doing well, my business was booming, so we was traveling, was eating whatever we want to eat, and I had no boundaries when it came to food, and it showed, right? It showed in my mind, and like again, a lot of people go through our life with mental issues and things like that. But again, I never really had mental issues. I don't really let a lot of stuff get to me. I sweep things off my, like I don't hold grudges or anything. So I wasn't worried about anything at the time. I don't allow worries to get the best of me. So I just didn't understand it. So it made me dive a little bit deeper, and I realized and learned that your gut health is connected to your mental. Okay, you guys. So that's the tea I'm spilling. That's one of the teas that I'm spilling today, you guys. Your gut health is connected to your mind, your mental space, your mental head space. So a lot of you guys are depressed, have anxiety, with bipolar, whatever they talk here, with I don't know, they got lots of names for the mental things that we have going on in our minds, but a lot of that is connected to our gut health. So if we eat properly, if we eat right, then that can clear our mind. It can give us the clarity that it can allow us to have the clarity that we need to move throughout life, right? So again, that was a big eye opener for me, because when I read that, one thing about me is I test stuff out. I don't just read stuff and hold the knowledge in and don't apply, because if you don't apply the knowledge, it's not wisdom at that point. It's just knowledge, right? So I remember these things and I share with everybody else to help them on their journey of, just having a healthier lifestyle, So yeah, I implemented it. I started changing my diet. I started eating right. I did try the keto diet. I tried the Dr. Sadie diet. I just tried everything, right? And when I lost weight, that clarity, my mind was clear again. The anxiety and depression, it went away. Now, I'm not saying this is what happened with everybody, but if you're going through mental illnesses and having mental issues, and you've been eating out of control, or maybe you ain't fat, but you just don't you don't eat healthy, you eat a lot of sodium, right? Yes, try to switch your gut health, change your diet, focus on your health and wellness. And I promise you, you more than likely will see. I ain't making no claims, but I promise you, you're gonna see some changes, right? It may not be a full change, but for me, it was right. My mind was clear again by just changing my diet and eating healthy. So from 2016 on after, I was made sure that I focused on my diet and eating healthy. Um, I went from, again, I told you the keto diet, saving diet. I try all those diets to no diet. I don't do diets anymore, right? I just make sure I eat a balanced diet, right? I don't overindulge in things, right? Maybe during the holidays. I do gain a little bit of weight during the holidays, Thanksgiving and Christmas would do it to you. I didn't gain about 20 pounds for the holidays, but I know how to get that weight right off. And honestly, during some winter times, you want to be warm anyway, so a little heaviness ain't gonna hurt nobody, right? It's like the bear, they're a little bit heavy during the winter time in hibernation. So there's nothing wrong with being a little bit heavy, but the key is having the knowledge to know how to lose the weight, how to get the pound off, right? And I know that. Okay. So yeah, you all, like, your mental health is everything, because think about it. If you're like mentally unstable, like, you're not motivated, like that, those, like, that anxiety, the depression, I don't know, we didn't know where it come from. It just made me unmotivated. I wasn't motivated. I wasn't motivated to do anything, to do things that I was always accustomed to doing, so yeah, y'all, that changed my life, and that kind of like jumpstart my spiritual journey, because that was aha moment. I did not know that the food that we was eating was really effing us up mentally. Now, I knew that if you eat too much food, you would gain weight. You know what I'm saying? Everybody knew that you would gain weight, right? You diabetes, possibly, high blood pressure, but there's a lot of people that eat a lot and don't gain weight. So again, but at the end of the day, what you put in your body, because your mouth is like the first absorption of what's going inside, right? Uh, Other than your skin, which is the biggest organ, what you're putting in your mouth should be very, very important, right? You should be very, very concerned about what you put on and putting it in your mouth. That's why I read behind the labels now and the chemicals and the weird chemicals in there. That's why I decided to have a balanced diet, because honestly, you really can't track everything. So if you don't eat too much of any of those things, then it really won't affect you as much as if you overindulge and eat too much of it, right? So the key is to have a balanced diet, right? That's knowledge that you can share with your children, because of course you will make sure they have a balanced diet, right? And you will prevent a lot of health issues that could be prevented. There's a lot of health issues that could be easily prevented by just eating healthy. And you don't gotta eat super healthy. Again, just eat balanced. Like, you can eat all the wonderful things that you like. You want pig feet, you want chitlins, steak, all that stuff, right? Mac and cheese, all of the carbs. You can go ahead and eat that, but balance it out. Don't let that be your everyday thing, right? And you eating big plates and loads of it daily, right? That's not love. That's not love for self, right? And again, the way you treat yourself, is the law of cause and effect, is what you will attract into your life. So if you just eating what you want, overindulging, right? Not treating your body right. Guess what? You're going to attract people in your life that doing the same thing to themselves, right? And you think they care about you? No, they don't. Because you don't care about you. So you can't expect people to care about you, care about your livelihood, your well-being, if you don't care about yours. So the moment you start caring about your livelihood, your well-being, your health, you're going to attract people into your life that does the same thing. Why? Because that's the cause, that's the law of cause and effect. Treat yourself good, people gonna treat you good. You treat yourself poorly, other people are gonna treat you poorly. All right? Mm-hmm. So yes, y'all, that is the tea that I have for you all today. I try not to go no more than 20 minutes. You know, I said I was going to do maybe 45 minutes, but I don't want to just overwhelm you all with this divine tea. But I had that download today to share with you, like, why I'm so into God and source. And like, I'm not the type of person that, I still do, I still live my best life the way I want to. So I'm not like religious, holy. I'm more on the spiritual side. I have actually am spiritually guided. I walk with God, right? I walk with God. I live what I'm saying, right? I practice what I preach. There's a lot of people out here, and again, that's the reason why, nothing against churchgoers. And but that's the reason why I kind of like, remove myself from the church, because even at a young age, I didn't understand like why people, especially, the pastor, just an example. If you're the leader of the church, right, and you're here, you're speaking this godly knowledge to us to help us in our lives, but your life is crumbling, that's a red flag for me. Right. And then I see the people that's inside of your community, you're struggling too. They're unhealthy, they're sick, they're dying from things that they can change. That's a red flag for me. As a youth, that was a red flag for me. That had me like side-eyeing things, because again, one thing about when you tap in with God, God helps you and guides you to receive the knowledge that you need. Either where it'll be a TV show, whether it be a person or a thing, God will provide you with the knowledge that you need to help yourself. But if you're not applying that knowledge to your life, and all you're doing is going around preaching and teaching, telling people this and this and that, but you're not living it, then again, that's a red flag for me. So, not talking about all churches and all pastors or whatever the case may be. I'm just saying, me growing up, in my experience, most people, they are not practicing what they're preaching. We're not perfect, right? We do fall behind. Like me again, I gained weight during the holidays, right? And I know, and I do that, and I don't mind, because I know how to lose the weight, and I educate people on how to lose the weight too. And I am honest with myself. That I done gain weight, that I'm fat. I ain't lying to myself saying, hey, I'm skinny. I'm like, no. I'm honest with myself, and I'm honest with others. Right. And again, a lot of these leaders, they're not honest with themselves. So of course they're not gonna be honest with others. And again, that's a red flag for me. If you're not honest with yourself, I don't expect you to be honest with others. Right. And in my eyes, you don't love yourself because you don't have the knowledge to do so, which means that you can't love me the way I need to be loved either. Right? Especially if I'm aware that you ain't loving yourself properly. I know you can't love me the way I need to be loved. Right? So that's me having compassion, but at the same time, that's me seeing the red flag. Knowledge is power. Applied knowledge is wisdom, and baby got wisdom. Okay, I got the wisdom, and I move accordingly. Okay. So yes, you all, it's time for y'all to get that gut health healed. All right, it's time to heal the guts so you can heal the mind, so you can catch this knowledge, so you can catch what I'm dropping. Right, I want to take people with me on this journey, because I'm still on my journey. This is a never-ending journey, but there's levels to this journey. And the people that I had in my life, I told you from the last slide, I thought these people were the people that I was supposed to take with me, but they were not. You are the people that I'm supposed to take with me on this next level. Right? So tap in. I have a wellness movement going on. It's called Melanie Inspired Wellness Movement. To me, it's all about health and wellness. We need the clarity to receive the downloads from source. And if we're not eating properly, we won't get the clarity. And we ain't receiving no downloads, no information, no spiritual guidance, no divine guidance. We ain't receiving nothing. And for all of you out here yelling legacy, they want to build a legacy. You ain't gonna be here to build no legacy if you don't have the clarity. And if you don't got the proper gut health, you're not healthy to be here to pass the information along to your children. Right? And that's the reality I had to face back in 2016. What that was the hard pill to swallow, that I was putting in my mouth a lot of bad things, and it was causing me mental distress. And there's a lot of people that are taking pills and they're going, they're going crazy because they don't know how to resolve this issue. And a lot of people saying that it was in their DNA to be cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, right? But no, guys, 9 times out of the 10, it's probably because of what you're eating. Like your eating habits, it was passed down. And that's why mostly everybody, they say, hey, everybody in my family got diabetes. Most people in my family got high blood pressure. No. The food that y'all was eating, because everybody eat the same thing around Thanksgiving time, that was passed down. But now you can change that, get the knowledge that you need to eat healthy, and you can pass eating healthy down. Change the meal plans now, right? The seasoning sauce and the oils that you're using. Change all of those things. That is passed down. The education and knowledge is passed down to your children. That's breaking generational curses. Now you build your bloodline when it comes to diabetes or high blood pressure or heart failure, right? Whatever the case may be, you are breaking that generational curse. We all have different generational curses in our family, and it starts from you. All right. So you all, thanks all. I'm gonna drop all the links if you want to join the Melanie Inspires Wellness Movement. The link will be in the bio, well, in the comment section. If you want to join this Divine Tea Confidential Facebook group, if you're on social media, you can definitely join, and I'm going to put the link there for you to join. And I'm going to leave with a last affirmation card for you all. All right. So, guys, what do you want this collective to know? What do you want us to end this with? I am flexible and flowing. And on the back, I'm open to the new and changing. Every moment presents a wonderful new opportunity to become more of who I am. I flow with life easily and effortlessly. So if you came here today, it's time for you to take the knowledge that I shared with you and apply it. Okay? Be flexible. Do your own research. Figure out a way where you can start changing, how you're eating. So you can change your mental health. So you can be consistent, right? Have a healthier mindset so you can get connected more with source consistently and get the downloads and the spiritual guidance that you need, because we're all on different paths. We all have a different purpose, and you need to be able to hear what God is telling you. And the only way for you to be able to do this is for you to have that mental clarity. All right? Because that's the connection to source, you all. So that is all I have, y'all. Let's go ahead and dance this off. Let's dance this off. And I hope this was helpful. And I wish I had someone to tell me this in the past, but guess what? God made me be that one, right? That's how I knew that I'm the test dummy for you all. Lucky y'all, huh? Aren't y'all lucky? All right. All right, let's go. Have a great one.